Morning everyone. So this morning I'm wearing blue, and the reason I'm wearing blue is because I'm going to be talking about flexibility. So remember the diary detox colours: green, thinking, communicating and improving. Those are the behaviours that if you have in your diary the right amount will take your organisation, your people and you upwards, make you better. Versus the amber behaviours: monitoring and directing. And those are the things that will keep you where you are, maintain the status quo, manage risk. And then there are the red doing and the brown floating behaviours. That if you have those in your diary too much, will take your organisation, your people and you backwards. But this morning I'm wearing blue. So what's that about? Well, blue is about living time. And so, of course, that's not really part of work. Well, I hope not. But this weekend I did a bit of reflection. Now, although I do a weekly diary detox that will plan out my following week, I normally aim around about 7 hours a day. So it's an 8-hour day with an hour lunch break over 5 days, Monday to Friday. That's about 35 hours. And I decided this weekend to do a bit of reflection to see what story my diary would tell me as part of my weekly detox. So what I found was that 65% of my time was green, making things better. 15% of my time was amber, keeping things the same, managing risk. And then 20% of my time, well, just under 20% of my time was red, doing, which would take me backwards if it was in the wrong proportion, but it wasn't for me. My target is 20%. But then there was a little dinky half hour of brown, where I went to a meeting that didn't actually add as much value as I thought. I'm not perfect, it happens. Now, although there were, actually I'll walk this way up the hill, be more fun. Although there were 35 hours of red, amber, green and brown, there were also 16 hours of blue. Now, blue in the context of work is living, is working flexibly. And last week was a bit of an unusual week for me because it was my wedding anniversary on Tuesday. My stepdaughter was leaving primary school on Friday. And there were also, now this wasn't unusual, this is fairly normal, there were moments when I didn't want to work because I didn't have the energy. Either I was a bit too tired, I was in the middle of the afternoon, I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to make a good go of that. I'll leave that for another time, and I would make up the time elsewhere. So those 35 hours of red, amber, green and brown were spread over the week outside the 9 to 5. And then the time within the 9 to 5, the gap that it left was filled with blue. And so, of course, what that then told me, the story, was that 2 of my days had been worked completely flexibly. And we're not talking about flexibility, taking Monday and Tuesday and working the rest elsewhere. We're talking about as and when I needed it. So 3 hours on Tuesday afternoon, virtually the whole day on Friday, and some points during each of the other days. I didn't have the energy. I actually thought I wasn't going to make a good go of it. So I blocked it out as blue time and made up for it elsewhere. And what it resulted in was 35 hours worked. But more importantly, all of the outcomes that I wanted to achieve were achieved because I put off the time when I didn't think I was going to make the best go of things till the time when I thought I would. Sorry, a bit out of breath walking up that hill. Doesn't look that steep there, but it is. So I think that's a really important story because I think there are many people working today in business who at points need time to go and do stuff with their family, dentist appointments, sports days, leavers assemblies, anniversaries, birthdays, whatever. And they don't really feel the ability to work flexibly. Or even though they're told they can, they often feel guilty that they've done it. Even when they're doing it, they've got an eye on what are people really going to be thinking? Are they going to be criticising me for doing it? Is my manager going to hate me for doing this? And sometimes you need to give yourself permission. And that's what blue time does, I think. Because believe it or not, I work for myself. And even I want to make sure, because what I'm doing is really important, I want to make sure that I'm putting in the right amount of effort for all the things I need to achieve. And blue time gives me a great way of saying, I'm actually going to take this next 2 hours and I'm not going to work. I'll block them out as blue time and I'll make up for it elsewhere because there was something in there that I did want to get done. I'll move it to another time when I do feel like I've got the energy. I think that's a brilliant story for business. I think it's a brilliant story for the flexible working agenda. And I think it's a brilliant story for you. Not only if you're somebody who wants to do flexible working, but if you're somebody who wants to implement flexible working. Because sometimes we can be not completely fair with our people. So by having something, at least in the short term, that we can just see and have a conversation around, we can start to change our discomfort with flexible working by seeing that everything will still get done. It just won't get done at exactly the time it used to. Now, there are definitely industries where you have to work certain hours, where you have to cover phones, giving customer service and so on. I get that. But there are a whole lot of industries where you don't have to do that. And yet we're promoting presenteeism, we're promoting burnout, and we're actually promoting that people sit in the office when we tell them to do substandard work because we made them do it when we wanted, rather than when they wanted. And believe me, they want to do a good job. They don't want to lose their job. We need to give people a bit of freedom and give ourselves a bit of freedom as well. So it's a bit of a longer one, but an important subject. That's it for today. You want to find out more, go to diarydetox.com. In the meantime, have a great day. Have a great week.